Hello everyone, welcome in my channel. Today I want to show you a feeder box of my Warre beehive that I make it, and we can talk about it and the philosophy how I make it. And also I want to talk with you about the design of my box, the points that I can say is okay, and also the points that I can say is not okay, and what is going wrong and what was going well. I make a feeder box, as you see here, is a Warre beehive. I put some honey box here, and the measure is, of course, inside is 30-30 and outside is depend of the thickness of your wood. But here I like talk with you about the mechanism of these boxes. I base it in on some hive that I have, some, I say German hive, but they make it in Holland, and you can give it this kind of feeder box about 10 liter or 11 liter in one time to your hive. And there is possibility also, there is a methodic how much we can give sugar water, for example, to our hive. And for example, if we give one part sugar, one part water, mix it to our hive, the queen lays too much eggs, and actually they're going to build, because for the build of the wax they need liquid food. And for example, for the winter we have to give to our hive sugar 3 to 2, 3 parts sugar, 2 part water. Otherwise 3 kilo sugar and 2 liter water. And there is it's a long term, maybe another time I make a video about it. But in Warre beehive, till I know, or maybe I don't know, we don't have a box that we give in one time, for example, 10 liter of food to the hive. And I want to make some box based on this design for the Warre beehive. Actually, it's simple. They have to make, this is foam, I think. It's very light. They make a box and it have a bottom, and here is the opening, and from this opening the bees come here and they can walk. Here is some, is not some slope, I think in English, is not flat. They can come here and they can drink the sugar water, and they put some mesh here. In some another model is some glass or plastic, but this is metal, and the bees come here and they can drink it. And we put here a piece of wood. Sometimes happens the bees, if for example is finished, they can drinking here. They can come here out, they can come here out, and they come here and they're going die. That is a problem of these boxes. And another problem of this box is that it's flat here. It's not a slope. And if you put, for example, 10 liter, I don't know, it depends of the power of your hive. When we give the food, they must have bring it to down in one night. Otherwise, I think the roughing, they call it. They come from another colony and they fighting, and we make a problem for the bees. Then we have to measure how powerful our colony is, and we give them enough that they, in one night, they bring it down to the windows, or they put it to the windows. That is the philosophy. But here is the flat. If I for example, put water, the water stay here. The water don't go there. And that is a problem of this kind of feeder. We have to put some wood under the hive that they make a slope that the water go there. And sometimes a problem because the colonies are very heavy. But I look at this design and I make another and I make it better. I try to here make a slope, because if I turn it here, for example, is a smaller than here, and it is kind of a slope I think in English. And if I put the water goes here, if you see. But the problem is that I paint it. I explain you. But in theory, the water go there, and if you see, is here. If my camera can show, the water is now here because the slope. That is the plus point of my box now, and I make it this what I say. I make it this box from this design, and I put here some opening. There's water inside now. I put it here some opening, and I have some problem because actually this design to make it is what difficult. And they put it some wall here, and they put it, and otherwise actually we don't know this wall. We can just put here to opening, we put a wall here, and we make opening to opening here, to opening here. Oh, I have to. We can close it. When we close this wood, it's for making is very easier. And how I make it is very difficult because this is 8mm, and in another feeder, in this kind of feeder, if you see it here, this is bigger. And this is a problem because if you don't take it off in few days, the bees make their wild wax. It's the design fault of this kind of feeder. It's second problem actually with that. And I make it here 8mm, and the law of Neil-Langstroth, they can make it or they don't make the wild beeswax. But anyway, it was too difficult to make. And I saw also in another model, they put the bottom till here, and they make here two opening, two round opening, same as here what I make, and they put two walls, and it's working actually the same. But the big problem with this wooden is that we have to make isolated, otherwise we have a leak. And because of that, I have two kind of this kind of paint. This is German paint. This is for the plastic one, for this kind of type material, and is only paint that we can put it in the feeding area, and actually is okay. But when I was finished, I was very tired, and I make a mistake because I have two kind of this, and another one is for the wood. And when I open it, it was no good, and I used this. And after I didn't have my glass, I read it is for plastic. And anyway, I make a mistake, and I have to destroy it now. Look, some leak. A leak is a problem with the wood. Maybe it was not enough what I did. Anyway, this was the point that I want to share with you. But I make a mistake, and we work in Warre beehive organic way of beekeeping, and to use this kind of material is not good. In another word, I destroyed it, and I try to make another video with new design, and that design is very easier to make and is also close to our philosophy about organic way of beekeeping. And I don't like this kind of thing to put in my Warre beehive. Thanks for watching. If you have some question or something like that, you can share with me. Or if you know how to isolate this kind of problem, to don't use the plastic and isolate the wood, I like to know that. There is, I think, one way I want to try it, to use the beeswax, to smelt the beeswax on the area that is lake, but I don't know about the bacteria or about the healthy. I have to think about it, or I have make one and I put it on my box to see that. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.